If you love playing MTGO, please make sure you check out my sponsors in the description below. Mana Traders, I've got a sweet discount code. Just head there and you can start playing whatever deck you want. Hey everyone, Matt from TOTALmtg here, and it's a new week, so I've got a new deck tech for you. And it's another rotation brew of mine. Today, what are we hitting? Today, I'm giving you a mono black control, rotation proof, ready for when we lose all these great sets that we've been playing with recently and we get the new ones very, very soon. So, mono black control, very interesting deck. It's going to have some really cool creatures in there. We still keep some very nice ones. We lose a few Planeswalker like Liliana's Death Majesty, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully we get some new ones printed out because the current one doesn't really, the M19 one doesn't really suit my type of deck, I think. But we do have another Planeswalker in there, a certain colourless one that will be obviously not be rotating and keeping in standard for us. But without further ado, don't forget, if you are new to us here, smash that subscribe button if you like what you see. Really good, appreciate it, and it's a free way to support the channel. But let's get on with the deck tech and start off with the creatures. So 14 creatures in total, starting off with a 4 of Kite Sail Freebooter. It's a 1/2 for 1 and a black. Has flying. When it enters the battlefield, you get to look at your opponent's hand, they reveal it to you, and you can choose a non-creature, non-land from it and exile it until this leaves the battlefield. So it's going to let you see what your opponent's playing on turn 2, which is very, very nice. If we don't draw one of our other spells that we can do that with, we've got a creature that can come down there, potentially slow your opponent down, be a blocker, or maybe just chip away, you know, flying in for 120 times could be a way to win, but no, not really. But Kite Sail Freebooter is in there as a 4 of. The next 4 of we have is Dreadshade. Now, this is one of our win cons. I've played against this, and this has just beat me down. If you can't deal with this, they're playing this with open mana. Certain spells obviously will not work on it because it can come, you know, it's a 3/3, but they can pay the 1 and it gets +1/1, +1/1 each time they pump it up until end of turn. And this can definitely win us the game. Dreadshade for triple black, no problem for us. We're mono black. This is a really, really nice creature. It even made the thumbnail for me because I really do like it. And it can certainly win us the games. We're then going to have a 4 of Ravenous Chupacabra. This was, when this got released, everyone loved this card and still do. It's 2/2, body's not great, but when it comes in, you can destroy target creature an opponent controls. Absolutely epic. So you're going to get a blocker, you're going to get a 2/2, you know, creature that can obviously block stuff, potentially could attack if you need to. It's going to take a bit of time, obviously, to get your opponent down, only being a 2/2. But the ability of when it comes in to destroy a creature and you get a body for that as well, you get a creature on the battlefield, it's just really, really good. The last creature is a couple of Gravedigger, because some of the creatures in there we wouldn't mind bringing back. We wouldn't mind bringing back a Ravenous Chupacabra once it's done its duty of destroying a creature and maybe done a block and then goes to the graveyard. Gravedigger can obviously bring that back to our hand, and we're not going to complain if we get back a Dreadshade or maybe even a Kite Sail Freebooter as well. Gravedigger is in there as a couple of, and it's going to be a great utility creature for us. So let's get on to the spells now. 21 spells in total, because we do run 25 lands in this deck. Starting off with a 4 of Divest. I like this in the main at the moment. There's plenty, you know, there's a lot of creature decks out there. Target opponent reveals a hand. You may choose an artifact or creature card, then they have to discard that card. Great turn 1 play for us. Getting to look at your opponent's hand, you know, can be really essential. You can see, you know, when you want to hold back with some of your kill spells, you know, you might automatically want to kill something, but then you don't realise they got something better in hand. This will be obviously get rid of the something from their hand in a creature or an artifact form, and then you'll be able to, you know, plan your turns ahead, which is really good by seeing, obviously, your opponent's hand. What also does that is Duress, and we've got 2 in the main, and I've got 2 in the sideboard. I put the 2 in the main because I just feel like it's, you know, with Planeswalkers out there and lots of other spells, there's a certain, you know, little blue card that's going around at the moment. You wouldn't mind getting rid of some of those extra turn cards, and Duress can obviously get rid of that. Really nice Duress, and obviously, you know, it's been a staple in black cards for absolutely ages. Absolutely great card. We then have a 1 of Argyle's Bloodfast. It's going to help us draw cards, this. You pay 2 life and you have to pay 2. So it does obviously have a stipulation there. Beginning of your upkeep, though, if you have 5 or less life, you can transform it. And when you do transform it, you can sacrifice a creature and gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. Now, we've got a lot of low mana toughness creatures there, but we wouldn't mind gaining maybe the odd bit of life. But it's a nice interaction, what I've done in practice as well with Dreadshade. where we've been on obviously very low life. I've managed to pump my Dreadshade up as it's about to die and then sacrifice it to that. Now that's just, you know, that's an interaction that's hardly, you know, it won't happen all the time. But I did gain, I think it was 6 life or 7 or 8 life or something stupid like that. And it definitely helped me, you know, go towards that game. And I think I actually ended up winning it because I managed to get my life back, bring, you know, the deck back round and ended up winning the game. We have lots of removal in the deck. We have 3 of Cast Down, destroy target non-legendary creature, 2 mana instant speed. Yes, there's quite a few legendary creatures, but, you know, it's a 2 mana kill spell for us. It does obviously have that stipulation, which is why it's costed like it is, but it's still a pretty sweet card. And then we have 3 of Murder that just won't obviously, you know, that'll just destroy any target creature, as long as they're not indestructible or anything like that, or hexproof, because that obviously just doesn't help us at all. But Murder will just, you know, anything that's really hard for us to deal with. Murder doesn't discriminate against anything, it doesn't have any stipulations, it just does destroy target creature. So the next bit of removal we have is a 4 of Vraska's Contempt, and there's a reason why this is one of the most expensive cards in Standard. If not, it certainly was. Exile target creature or Planeswalker and you gain 2 life, instant speed removal. Best removal we're going to have in this deck. Costs 4 mana, 2 double black, no problem for us. It's just an epic card. We then have a 1 of Mastermind's Acquisition. Costs 4, you can search your library for a card, put it in your hand, or you can search from outside the game, so we can actually go and get something from our sideboard if we need to be. It's in there as a 1 of. It's a really cute card. I really like it. It's all, you know, it saw a bit of play when it first come out. You don't really, I don't think, generally see it anymore, but I like it. Within this rotation proof deck, it's there as a 1 of. It's just a really nice card. Then we have 3 Planeswalkers, and they're all Karn, Scion of Urza. You get to reveal the top cards with Karn. You know what Karn does. It's really good. Get whatever, you know, opponent does choose whether they put 1 in your hand, but we can do a -1 effect and go and get it next turn if Karn is obviously still there. And we can make constructs as well. They start off as 1/1s when they're artifacts. Well, we haven't in the main board, we haven't got any other artifacts, but it can get us a blocker, and maybe once we've pumped up the Karn big enough, we can just keep minus it a few times, and then just make lots of constructs. If not, they're just going to be blockers to bide us our time, but they are there, and Karn can definitely win a game for you as well. So the land base now, pretty simple, guys. Cabal Stronghold is there as a 3-of. We can actually, you know, we've got 18 basic swamps in this deck, so Cabal Stronghold will obviously make a lot more mana for us. We do have some high costing cards in the sideboard as well. We've got a 2 of Field of Ruin. Destroy those as canters. I say it every week. Let's just destroy them. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying that. I love blue and it's one of my favourite cards. But obviously, you know, when I'm building decks to play against those sort of decks, you need this card in there. We've got 2 of Memorial to Folly, because it's another way of getting back a creature card from our graveyard to our hand. You could even get back a Gravedigger, play the Gravedigger, get back a Dreadshade, you know, get a blocker on the field. You've got interactions there. We need to get, you know, our main winning card, which is Dreadshade, because that is how we're mainly going to win our games. Keeping that, we've got some recurrence to get it back with the Gravediggers and the Memorials. You know, Liliana's Death Majesty was nice when we could bring back cards from there, but that has gone, and you know, we might have other Planeswalkers that come in very soon with the new sets coming out that we can do some cool effects like that. But at the moment, this is the way we are going to recur some of those sweet creatures. So let's get to the sideboard now. We've got 1 creature in the sideboard, and it's a Demon Lord Belzenok. 6/6 Flying Trample. Now that's just going to win a game, isn't it? It's got some cool abilities on there as well. You get to exile the top cards from your library into you exile a non-land card, put that in your hand. If that card's mana cost is 4 or greater, you get to repeat the process, then it does 1 damage to you. But a 6/6 Flying with Trample for 6, absolutely brilliant card. Like I said, we do have a couple more Duress in the sideboard in case we need to bring them in. And we do have an Argyle's Bloodfast, just an extra 1 of them as well. More removal in Moment of Craving. This gives you life as well, but you know, it's not on the main board because you give something -2/2. We might not, you know, we might not kill something with that. We might just have to play it to gain the life, which obviously sometimes you have to do in games. But coming in from the sideboard, we know what, you know, basically our opponent's playing, and this can come in, potentially kill a creature and gain us 2 life as well. Sorcerer's Spyglass is there. Like I said, we've got another artifact in the sideboard, just a couple of these. Going in a lot of my control decks. This will help us, you know, even more deal with Planeswalkers, stuff like that, and awkward stuff. And then we have a couple of Golden Demise. It's got the eccentric on this. If you've got City's Blessing, it doesn't, you know, it will kill some of our creatures as well, the -2/2, but we might just need to do it. If we've got City's Blessing, though, it just does our opponent's creatures. Vona's Hunger is in there as a 2 as well. This also has Ascend, and I think, you know, with the amount of lands we have and sometimes the creatures we have, and a couple of enchantments that we could play as well, we've got a good chance of getting Ascend. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, and then instead, if we got the City's Blessing, each opponent sacrifices half their creatures. Sometimes this will happen, sometimes this will happen, but it's a very sweet card and maybe will be able to help us out, and I like it in the sideboard. We also have one of Eldest Reborn in there. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, then they discard a card with the second trigger, and then we get to put one of those onto the battlefield under our control, which is really, really sweet. Nearly made the main board, this card, but it's going to come in from the sideboard, and of course we can also go and get it if we need to with the Mastermind's Acquisition, which is what we can do with our final sideboard card, which is a 2 of the Immortal Sun. Players can't activate Planeswalker abilities. Now, we've only got Karn in there. We know we're not a heavy Planeswalker deck. Beginning of your draw step, you get to draw an additional card, which is very sweet as well. Spells cost 1 less for us, and creatures we control get +1/1. So this is my mono black rotation proof deck, guys. Let me know what you think in the chat. I think it's a really, really sweet deck. We got some very strong cards there. We got finishes in Dreadshade. Ravenous Chupacabra will come down with nice interactions and kill the creatures as well. Karn can certainly win a game. And then if we're struggling, you know, we're struggling to finish the game with all the removal in hand, and we can't win it with Karn making the constructs and that, we've got a Demon Lord Bells knocking there that can come in. A 6/6 flyer is going to be very, you know, it's going to be very quick to win a game is that. I really like this deck, and I think it can, you know, it's really good going forward, and it's a different way to play control when you're not having your blues and your whites and stuff and they're making Esper or blue-black control. Mono-black, for people that just like playing mono-black, will hopefully love this deck. Anyway, guys, any suggestions for the decks or anything you want to see rotation proof coming up, leave it in the comments. And obviously, I always try my best to, you know, make decks that you want to see and everything like that. And I really do appreciate all the support. The videos have been going mental recently, and that's just all down to you. So, thanks a lot for watching. The next video will be up on Thursday, so we'll have another deck tech then. So make sure you're all tuning in for that. You lot have a great day, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.